This is definitely an attack. It will affect your child rearing. It will affect your education system.
This is instructions for the teacher in the classroom to ask her or his students, how do people express their sexual feelings? What is abstinence? And here are some answers. Oral sex, masturbation, anal sex, massage, holding hands, touching each other's genitals, saying, I like you. And what they're doing is equating all these things. Saying, I like you is equal to anal sex.
A documentary that expresses plans by multinational health organizations, including the World Health Organization, UNFPA, IPPF, and UNICEF, to sexualize children in Africa at different stages of growing up, to believe that it is okay to choose their own gender and have sex with them or with different genders.
CSE program for African youth called The World Starts With Me tells children that sexuality includes oral sex and masturbation.
This deep challenge is not only propagated to lands far and foreign. Africa, and indeed Nigeria, is a prime target to allow deaths of a growing healthy population of young people who have the capacity to rule the world in the future. The Minister of Health in Nigeria is believed to have been tricked to begin a contraceptives campaign to the detriment of the country.
If you destroy the traditional African family as we know it, you destroy the entire society. This is precisely what Europe has done to itself with years of abortion and infanticide, in which millions and hundreds of children have been killed over the decades. Now Europe, population-wise, is on the brink of extinction, with most European countries now unable to reverse their fertility ratio from negative to positive. The same thing is happening in the United States, the same thing is happening in Canada. And don't think that when we're giving the green cards and so on, it's because they love us. No, it's because they need a working young force. They need population.
The latest of these is the insidious attempt to reduce human capital and Nigeria's population by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, in conspiracy with the whole World Health Organization, WHO. He has recently launched a comprehensive abortion policy in Nigeria aimed at killing Nigerian babies and children. The WHO, which is heavily funding and masterminding the project, boasts that it would dismantle all legal, religious, and cultural and philosophical principles in Nigeria in order to pave way for killing of Nigerian babies through abortion.
The issues are far worse, as already depicted by presentations by speakers who joined virtually at this forum. They believe that Africans and indeed Nigerian government should not be cowed, for there are dire consequences that will deplete its strength from all angles.
They'll win through the process of creating customary international law. That's why it's so important for all of us to keep speaking out and showing that there is no right. Show us where in a specific treaty, anywhere, that there is a right to abortion. There is no international right broadly across the world to abortion.
Even the clergy, as well as students, like these ones who show deep concerns written on their faces, are already conscious of their femininity and deeply concerned about the cruelty the West has shown towards evolving a system that will crumble them.
They give us rights and tell us right of this, right of that, right of this, right of that. But rights are automatic. Responsibilities are what we want. What are our responsibilities towards the incoming generation? And if we don't stop this right now, it will continue to be like that, and we shall have a future that is very bleak and non-productive.
If you look at the history of all these drugs that are listed here, and then history of abortion, you see that it's men that have been pushing it. The first doctor to invent a birth control pill was a man. Majority of the abortion, doctors that carry out abortion are men. So, if we're being honest, the side that is pushing for all these things we're speaking against Actually, the men.
You know what happened at Christian school in Dubai? They went for World Games in Dubai, and there was a sexual perversity that took place. Now people have been asking, who is sexualizing our children? Who is behind? This is why we're here. The Ministry of Health, in conspiracy with WHO, World Health Organization, has backrolled abortion policies in Nigeria. These abortion policies include giving young people dangerous contraceptives, dangerous drugs, dangerous substances, which is harmful to their health.
But I also think that ultimately God has to have his way. Do not kill, thou shalt not murder. And if you go out of your way to murder, then you are offending God. And I think it would be dangerous to offend God. So from the religious point of view, I think I am against it. And then, of course, listening to Dr. Callum Miller, you could see that even the argument is completely false. It's completely contrived. Some of these things are just things people are saying to justify the big industry that sustains abortion. But it's a very big industry.
An era where children are misguided by visual means, like these ones, being taught how to wear condoms on genitalias, a sure sign of destruction of their moral and traditional values. But many now ask, can it be stopped?
Today, they say there are over 100 genders. The plan is to bring this into Nigeria and to Africa. We don't understand what is going on. So when they have a word for man and woman and they have a word for something else, what are you, when you get home in your own local language, what are you going to tell your mother a man is, a woman is? If it's in Yoruba, it's no longer Okunrin or Obirin or Wonke or Wani or whatever. You devise other words for them. This is what is going on. So there's a depravity that is sweeping all across the world. And it is our duty. In the press brief, you heard they quoted Al Gore when he said that once you have people who are donating, sponsoring fertility, that they will determine what will happen in Africa. It is not Africans that will determine it. That is the height of arrogance and neocolonialism. So, but unfortunately, who do you blame? You don't blame, just the ordinary people. You blame our governments, you blame our political leaders. You blame Africa, the most endowed continent in the world, the richest in the world, is today kowtowing to some of these ideologies because we cannot say no. Why can't we say no? Because we depend on these same people who have exploited the continent and are now also trying to reap much more from the continent.
Like he,
say no to CSC! Say no to CSC!
Others from other countries are fighting back, saying the task is now fully on the parents and their teachers to wage war for morality to survive.
We resist it, even with our lives, because that's what life is all about.
We've got to stop it. We've got to use everything at our disposal. We have to stand together to stop this attack against our children.
Perhaps a different kind of world war is rising fast, the weapons of which begins with awareness and advocacy that adoption rights, sexuality pleasures education, and now being masqueraded as human rights, gender and reproductive health education. It's now your choice whether or not to allow comprehensive sexuality education, CSE, to win or lose. For further information, please go to stopcsc.org, where you can sign a petition to stop this menace.
Reproductive health education, information on sexual and reproductive health, family life education, teen pregnancy prevention, rape prevention, anti-bullying programs, HIV/AIDS prevention, and sometimes even abstinence or abstinence plus education. CSE programs usually falsely claim to be age-appropriate, evidence-based, healthy sexuality education that will prevent teen pregnancy, sexual abuse, STDs, and HIV.
Gimba Umar for Control TV News Mobile.